Perfect. So let's get to it. How are you today, bro?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. And just to introduce myself to the audience, my name is Johnny, and I'm a creative producer, creative executive, and writer over at Open Doors.
Nice.
Today, we have a very, very special guest. This is not only Friz, DJ and producer, but also Ryan Frizzell, who is the owner and creator of Open Doors.la, bringing you all the beautiful content you know and love. Let's get started with a little introduction. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in music and where Open Doors kind of came from?
I grew up in Seattle, Washington. I've moved around a bit and eventually came to LA when I was attending school. I went to Loyola Marymount, just graduated from there. And I started producing my sophomore year of high school. And once I came to LA, that's really when I started to dive full into the music even more so, in terms of beginning to play shows. I put on a warehouse party the first year I got there when I was 19. We weren't even familiar with what warehouse parties were at the time, but we just wanted to throw a party for everyone. And so we got about 300 people out there, and that's when it was like, oh, wow, this could be something. And it was a really exhilarating experience. So that really kickstarted the live performance side of things. I continued producing, doing all that, took a leave of absence, went to a music production school called Icon Collective, met a bunch of great people there. And about 3 years ago is when this idea for Open Doors really started to come into my head, in terms of putting on music television and the idea of a website that was continuously streaming music television for people. And with everything happening right now in the current time with all the, social distancing and everything, people are hopping on live streams, and felt like it was a perfect time to really start this whole Open Doors concept.
Word. I want to go off this route that we're on right now. And, one of the big things that we're clearly here to do, if you haven't gotten that already from this interview, is to, push artists towards their goals. So can you dig a little bit more specifically into how you tackle those creative goals?
So I think a big part of it is, like you said, setting goals is pretty important. So if it's, I want to play this festival, I want to drop an album, write those goals down, those specific ones, and have them in your head, and really just being aware of where the world is taking you in a given time, not overthinking things too much, which is much easier said than done, but really following that intuition of where your art is taking you, and just follow that all the way. And I was going to say it'll open doors. I know that's the name of the site, the company and everything, but quite literally it'll open doors if you just follow your intuition and let that guide you. I found that sometimes when you get a little too stuck to a certain path and visualize it again and again in your head, sometimes it works, but sometimes it's best to just follow that flow state of wherever you're being taken.
So I listened to your stuff. It's available on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah.
I'm a Spotify guy, so
same personally.
Everything on Spotify. One thing I noticed about your most recent drop is circa 4,000, right?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of the old days in terms of when I was listening to EDM back in like high school and early college. Can you tell me a little bit about your influences going into the album? Was that your intention? And maybe talk to me a little bit about your EDM influences, in terms of artists.
I'm really trying to bring something that is fresh in a sense that you might not have heard it before. For me personally, some of those most magical music moments in my life were in my earlier years, and I often find myself going back to that music again and again. And I think the music you hear early on is so important to your development as a person for anybody. So being able to get into that, I guess, feeling, I super appreciate that. I've been taking a lot of influences from a bunch of different artists that I consistently listen to, and Circa 4000, the second track on it, Breathe, it really came from listening to a lot of techno and melodic techno. And I got off the call with the other artist on Circa 4000, the actual song Circa 4000. It's a 2-track EP for those of you who haven't heard it yet. And so I got off the call with my friend. We're talking about the state of the music industry. And I went into that song Breathe with just kind of this mentality of like, fuck everything else that's going on, like just do this for yourself and what you want to express, and just do something different in that sense. So that's what went into my mind for that one.
Going off that, you're an industrious guy, you're a DJ, you're a producer, you're, a multimedia artist in a sense. And now you're adding to that list and you're becoming a businessman with opendoors.la. Is there anything else besides the album that you mentioned earlier that you can talk to the audience about? Anything big you have coming up? Maybe some plans regarding Open Doors that you might be ready to reveal today?
Yeah, totally. I see so many new projects already coming forward through Open Doors that I think it's going to continue to I guess quench that thirst for all these new innovative ideas. So yeah, tons of new stuff coming forward. We've been doing these virtual festivals, which are awesome. We're going to continue to keep pushing the envelope on that. You've seen the behind the scenes and being a big part of running that, and seeing everything else that's going on with adding artist interviews, live sets. I see long-term many other ideas as well. But I think a lot of my focus recently has been on Open Doors, and I've set up so much content that I'm sitting on for Friz as a brand and for music that I'll be able to continue facilitating that and putting that out. But long answer to somewhat small question, or short question, that is, because it's very big and open-ended. But a lot of the things you're gonna be seeing coming out of the next few months and year is definitely Open Doors. There's gonna be a continuous stream of innovative new content, so keep tabs on that on opendoors.la. Visit the site literally whenever, because it's 24/7 music video streaming content on there. So no matter what time of the day you go on the site, you'll find something. You might discover a new artist that we're spotlighting. We're making sure that we're bringing you the most quality content, and content that we ourselves are in love with. So always feel free to go to opendoors.la and check what's going on there, because there will be something going on at the site at any hour of the day you type that website in.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have here, bro. So peace out.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And that was a really fun interview.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man.